Hello there! In the previous episode we've learned the most basics about map transforming. But without proper textures it does not look like anything. In today's video we are going to learn how texturing works. Not just on how to apply textures to a surface, but also some texture transforming, as well as how to blend different textures into each other. The entire topic of texturing is divided into 2 episodes, as there is a lot to know. Throwing all the infos at you at once might be a little bit overwhelming. Hi, my name is Vortex and let us bring some colors to our maps. Apply textures. To apply a texture to any surface is very simple. We just select the thing we want to texture and press F2 to bring up the texture browser. Select any texture we want and hit escape. That's it, the surface should now be covered into the new texture. Also, the texture will only be applied to one side of the selection. If we want all faces to get the new texture, we can press 0 on our keyboard and then apply the texture again. This way it should appear on every side of the selected volume. In the bottom left of the screen there should be a text which reads all faces. If it is orange, textures will be applied to all sides of the volume. By pressing 0 again we can disable the all faces mode and the text should turn grey. As an alternative, you can also hold down Y on a German keyboard or Z on an English keyboard and use the mouse wheel to scroll through the texture list. The last used textures are at the top and the least used textures are at the bottom. Texture modifications. While applying a texture to a surface is one thing, we can also apply some texture properties on the fly without requiring to load a new texture with different properties. Offset. Holding down O or P while using the mouse wheel will move a texture inside a selection alongside the X and Y axes. A use case for this might be a part of the texture containing a certain thing we may want to be visible, but be aware that this might create seams with neighboring geometry using the same texture. Rotate. By selecting a region, pressing T and enter /V rotate followed by any number between and including 0 to 5, we can rotate the texture inside the selection by 90 degrees. 0 means no rotations, 1 means 90 degrees, 2 means 180 degrees, 3 is for 270 degrees, 4 will flip the texture along the x-axis and 5 will flip the texture along the y-axis. Scroll. Selecting a region, pressing T and enter /V scroll followed by 2 numbers for the x and y axes, we can make a texture scroll into the given direction and speed. Note that the number given is the movement speed of the texture in Hz. 1 Hz will make the texture scroll over its entire size once every second, while 0.1 Hz for example will make the texture scroll over its entire size in 10 seconds. Play around with these values to find the sweet spot. A use case for the scroll effect can be a more detailed waterfall, as what is possible with the water material, or maybe a portion of sand leaking outside the wall. We will learn more about materials in later episodes. Scale. By selecting a region and pressing T and enter /V scale followed by a number, we can scale a texture up or down. This way we do not need to opt in for a predefined scale while loading a texture, while the size will be multiplied with the actual size in pixels. This means 1 would be no scale at all, 2 will make it twice as large, and 0.1 will scale it down to 1/10 of its original size. Color. Selecting a region, pressing T and enter /V color followed by 3 numbers in the range of 0 to 1, we can apply a color to a surface without requiring a new texture. This will multiply the base color of the texture with the numbers given, while the numbers stand for red, green and blue in this particular order. Therefore, using /V color 1, 0, 0 will make it appear red, /V color 0, 0, 0 will make it appear black, /V color 1, 1, 1 will revert any modifications and the texture will appear in its original form. Also, you can revert any of these properties by selecting a region, pressing T and enter /V reset. Texture blending. An advanced texture effect is blending. This way we are able to paint smoother textures and make 2 different textures blend into each other. As with the default texturing methods, we are limited to apply them only on cubes, which creates hard edges between different types of textures. To make use of texture blending, we need 2 textures which should be blended and then tell the engine which texture serves as the bottom layer and which is the top layer. Note, the bottom layer will blend into the top layer. Without any blending specified, we will only see the top layer. Also, we now need to take care of texture indices, as this will be important from now on. If we press F2 to open up the texture browser and hovering a thumbnail, we can inspect the texture index and file name by taking a look at the bottom of the dialog. The leading number is the index followed by the file. Also, we can select the surface and press F9 and take a look at the top left of our screen. A blue text should appear showing the texture index and name as well. Next, we select the surface we want to apply texture blending to, press T, and then enter /V layer, followed by the index of the texture which should serve as the bottom layer. No worries, we can't see the other texture just yet. Afterwards, we press 2 or 3 on our keypad to enter paint mode. A blue circle should appear next to our crosshair as this is a paint brush. 2 is the dig mode, which means we dig through our top layer to make the bottom layer visible. 3 is the fill mode, which is just the reverse operation, therefore we hide away the bottom layer. Using 4 and 5 on our keypad, we'll enter invert dig and invert fill mode. They act exactly like fill and dig, but they swap the textures they mean by digging and filling. Therefore, they swap the bottom and the top layer. By pressing 8 or 9 on our keypad, we can circle through different brushes, which do have different shapes and strength as on how much of digging or filling they will do. Also, we can disable the paint mode by pressing 0 on our keypad. To actually paint blend maps, we just enter paint mode and then hold the left mouse button and drag the view around. If we cannot see any blending happening at all, it might be full bright mode is active. By pressing L on our keyboard, we can toggle this mode. A blue text should appear at the top left of the screen, reading full bright on or off. To see texture blending, it needs to be set to off. Also, we can reset the blend map by selecting a region and running the vreset command as well. Outro. That shall be it for the basic texture tutorial, even though we already learned a lot today. In the advanced texturing episode we will learn more about different texture types, how to load textures as well as shaders, and also how grass works in Cube 2 Sauerbraten. Since the advanced texturing episode will also cover shaders, I recommend to watch the lighting episode before watching advanced texturing, as some texture types only do work if we have lighting set up for our map. I hope you found this video helpful and we will meet in another episode. Happy editing!